What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to That Sounds Terrible. Today's episode is the Revv Tilt Boost. Now, this pedal, when I first got it, I was kind of a little bit shocked on how well it was an upgrade from the original Revv Tilt. Now, the original was great. It had a low gain overdrive on the left-hand side. The right-hand side was the boost, and that's basically all I used. Now, I bought mine from truck driver Sean, and when he originally sent it to me just to check it out, I fell in love with it. And I was like, dude, I'm not giving it back. I'm keeping it. So I bought it from him. And then, fast forward to today, present time. And it came out with the Revv Tilt Boost. Now, the Sean Tubbs signature. So I guess there was an interview going around where he had talked about a lot of people really like the boost side of it. And so him and the great folks at Revv have come up with just that. So they did tweak it a little bit, from what I understand, from the original by adding a drive switch. And so let's kind of talk about it real quick. We have a drive switch here, which when you flip it up into the up position, it enables LED soft clipping. At least that's what I understand. So if I understand it correctly, then as the hard clipping kicks in, it's kind of bright and loud and in your face. Whereas the soft clipping, it's a much more usable, at least in my experience, it's much more usable, and you don't have to ride the volume and change it as much when it's engaged. So we still have our transparent and clean boost. So, whatever signal is going in, that's what it's pushing out. It's not adding the gain. It's not adding a distortion. It's not adding clipping until you obviously introduce the clipping switch. The tight switch is still the same. Up is a half shelf, down is a full shelf, where it tightens up that signal and gets rid of some of that muddiness. And then the tilt EQ knob still does the same. To the left, it reduces the low end, and to the right, it reduces the high end. So my brain processing basically thinks of it as how a rat filter worked on some of the old rat pedals. Same kind of concept, at least that's how I see it. So I thought we would try it with two guitars and two different amps. And we're going to use my 2016 Gibson Les Paul Tribute. Love this guitar. I've got Arcane Inc. Arcane Inc. 57 Experience P90s. And we're going to use that with my Satellite Neutron. It's a very simple amp. It's old school hand-to-hand or hand-wired point-to-point construction or whatever. They're made in California, I believe, San Diego, maybe. Adam Grimm did a phenomenal job with his company and these amps. Some of the greatest bands use them. So we're going to use that. It's a very simple amp. I'm going to ride the volume pretty low. It's 18 watts, so this way you're not going to get a lot of power distortion out of it. So this way, the Tilt Boost is going to be doing all of the heavy lifting for that amp, and I thought that would be a great way to check it out. The second option I'm going to do later will be the Kramer Dave Mustaine signature guitar, and I'm going to use my Mesa single rectifier, the Rectoverb 50, the 50 watt. It's a Series 2, and I wanted to see how well it would do with a high gain amp and how well it would tighten up the low end of the Mesa. So we'll do that. We'll check them out, and in the meantime, let's just kind of go ahead and we'll start noodling around. All right, so that is the Revv Tilt with the satellite neutron. Let's go ahead and put this back to a neutral position. You know what I noticed though is when the pedal was first turned on, it almost sounded like it dropped my overall output. So you could almost use this as a, you know, if you have a single channel amp and it's real kind of crunchy and you want to clean it up just a little bit, you could probably use that. It'll drop that volume down and sound pretty good overall. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing plugged up. And like I said, we're going to use the Mesa for this. I think this will be a good way to test it out with a high gain amp. Hopefully, it sounds okay. All right, so here we go. All right, man, that is the Revv Tilt Boost with the Mesa single rectifier. This pedal is incredible. It really is. I'm super stoked to have it, and I really enjoy the way it sounds with the Revv, or with the Mesa. The fact that you have so much control over your high end and your low end is incredible. And just being able to tighten the amp up just enough or add some extra to it where it's needed is a good thing too. So tell me below in the comments what you guys thought, and we'll catch you in the next one.